well, how many people do you interview and they have Buzz Aldrin standing behind them? Yeah. I'm downstairs because I'm quite noisy with my vuvuzela and what have you. Um, we are Thunderbirds. We come to the rescue. So for those of you who are old enough to remember Thunderbirds, this is Thunderbird 2. All our technicians drive very similar vehicles. There's sign written 3 cherries, and we rescue our clients. So thank you for asking that question, and hopefully that was a sensible answer. I've been lucky enough to meet 7 men who have walked on the moon, and I've done that since 2000. And I think I started my my hobby to meet them in 2008. And it's amazing. They do get out and about. They're getting very old now. There's only 4 of them left alive. They're all aged around 90. Here's one of them, Buzz Aldrin. He walked on the moon, and reflected in his visor is Neil Armstrong. He sadly died in 2012, and I was lucky enough to meet him twice in 2010. I'm very, very lucky. I work for a fantastic company called 3 Cherries, and essentially we take the gamble out of hassle with business technology, IT and telecoms. We've been very proud to look after a company called Sanderson PLC. They are a large recruitment company. They turn over 400 million. They have 10 offices throughout the UK, with their head office in Bristol, not far from our offices here in Clevedon. They have 400 users. They have a site in India, one in Southern Ireland. They're opening an office in Australia, in Singapore. And their requirement was they were looking for the very best solution that would provide them with soft phone and smartphone applications, largely because, yes, to a certain extent because of COVID and working from home, but also they just wanted to adopt that flexible work ethic and give their team the ability to work remotely and just general flexibility. Ring Central stood up very, very high, and like a bright shining light was an obvious solution, and we were delighted to work with the gang at Ring Central. All have been incredibly professional, very knowledgeable, and I'm very happy to say that Sanderson are very, very happy with their Ring Central solution, which is currently being rolled out. It's working in their head office in Clifton in Bristol, about 160 people, and they're rolling it out to the rest of the UK and the world over the coming months. Over the last 10 years or so, I have spoken to goodness knows how many companies who have been caught short, and they've taken up the salesman's offer of cheap hosted telephony, and it hasn't been reliable and it hasn't been a good experience. If you look at Ring Central and their 5 nines SLA, that's incredible. And I believe they're one of the few companies that offer 5 nines in their SLA. And that's really important. And if you've got a client, as we had, like Sanderson, we didn't want to take them from anything other than a really, really good solution. So certainly, to go back to your original question, I think the challenge of any end users out there is finding a solution that is both cost effective, but most importantly, reliable. In the old days, they would divert their DDI out to their mobile, and the CLI, calling line identification number, they would get on their mobile would be their desk phone rather than the caller that's actually calling them. If you look at what they've got now, they've got a situation whereby if someone calls their DDI, the recruitment person, girl or boy, could be in the office on their plastic, in the office on their soft phone, in the office on their smartphone, in McDonald's on the Wi-Fi on their laptop, at home on their plastic at home, on their soft phone at home, on their smartphone at home, on their smartphone on holiday in Kefalonia. Wow, amazing. And what do they get? They get the CLI presented. So you could have a recruiter who is working on a significant project, i.e., putting an individual into a company. That there could be, a lot of money riding on that for the recruiter, and the recruiter could be on holiday on a beach in Kefalonia, and the call comes through, and they can answer it, and the incoming caller has no idea where that person is. And you know what? Doesn't matter where they are. The fact is, they're able to take calls from their clients and offer fantastic service. I remember all my life raining down as cold as ice. Your name's not Mandy, though. That's the trouble.